Greetings, I'm Barb.
I'm Trielf.
Welcome to podcast number 6 in our 13 Days of Christmas series, produced by the Sointuligan. Today we reached Margot Levy by phone in Rough Bay, and she told us about some strange lights. Thank you for listening, and if you're enjoying, why not support the arts at patreon.com/thesointuligan.
Okay, so I decided I'm running away from home. My husband and I got divorced, and I ended up with sold the house and all that, and I ended up with a little bit of cash. So I decided I'm going to New Zealand. So I went to New Zealand, and I was kayaking at the time, and I met this about 6-foot Dane. And she was on her own, I was on my own, so we just said, okay, right, Bay of Islands, let's go paddling. So we paddled out to this little island, and we camped there for about 5 days. And one night, we just were making dinner and, sitting around and chatting, and then all of a sudden, we both got this weird and creepy feeling. And from one corner of the sky, and it was just sunset, from one corner of the sky comes this huge beam that just crosses. Okay, so there's a pasture in front of us, and then a headland behind us. And then there were some farmers' fields, and then just a fence and like a little hedgerow off to the side. So all of a sudden, right out in front on this pasture, comes this light that just crosses the pasture. And then from a completely different corner of the sky comes this other intersecting light that just from a completely different area. If it had been like it didn't start from the middle, it started from the extremity. The light came from the farthest part, and I can't really explain, but it came from the farthest, and then it just swept across the field in a beam, and then from a completely different direction, from toward us from a distance, and then just intersected where the beam had been before. It was so freaky, and we just sat there stunned, and then it just disappeared, and there were like three or four beams, and then we just looked at one another and went, what the fuck was that? And so we thought, well, maybe there was some kind of a somebody up in the headland. We thought, we heard nothing, we saw nothing. It's a rolling hill behind us that you could see the edge of. So we said, we better go and check this out. So we went right to the top of that hill, which was probably, like maybe 150 feet above where we were camping. Nothing. It wasn't a helicopter. There was no noise, no sound, and no source. It was just completely freaky. And my friend, who is as straight as an arrow and a helicopter pilot, was just flying down from Atlin, and he, from about 3 miles away, saw a cigar-shaped a formation of cigar-shaped structures, whatever you want to call them, coming toward him. He was quickly looked for his camera because he recognized this was nothing he could explain, and they, he says a second, dropped 1,000 feet in altitude, and just took an evasive action. And he said they were about 30 feet long and about 3 foot some odd in diameter. And I should double check that. And they just disappeared at top speed.
Wow.
It was so crazy.